Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Life Work Tarot channel. Today, we have a reading about your childhood trauma and what you can do to fix it. But the first step is to understand exactly what it is and what happened, because not all of us know. So, let's start with the pile picking. Today, we have 3 piles. Please pick one of them, take a deep breath, and let's start. Hello, group number 1. If you chose this yellow citrine stone, this is your pile. And first of all, I wanted to say that even this one card already gives us some kind of feeling of you in your childhood. And I feel like for you, the topic of joy was very, very important. Let me show you this observer card. So this was probably you. And I think you were very, very intuitive child. I think you were someone who was noticing what was happening around them, but mainly keeping quiet. So you were this one kid who was always like, could read the room very well, or even from very young age could literally watch your parents and know what exactly happened when they had a fight or something like this. But I feel like in your core, because you got the citrine stone, it's very nice, very sunny stone, you were or wanted to be very innocent, very naive, nice, very happy child as much as you could. And it's showing me the age from anywhere from like 3 to maybe maximum the 8. So for you, your childhood trauma should be somewhere from 5 to 8, so kind of like a very young age. And for you, because you were observing so much of the world around you, I think, and you're probably an empath too for some of you, you were easily influenced by what was going on around you. So what we're also going to do today, we're going to see the main element, which is this one. We're also going to see the emotions you were feeling and what consequences it gave you and what you can do next, like an advice. So let's start with the second card and see what will come up. Okay, so we have 2 cards. One fell off from the table, but we'll also use it. We have existence in reverse. Yeah, it only accentuates what we were talking about, because look, it's such a wonderful card. So here we have this human, child or woman, man, doesn't matter, this person is sitting around watching the stars, watching the sky. Maybe you liked watching the sky and the stars and the moon and watching outside the window, or maybe you still like doing it, and you were feeling alone and not like everybody else, but at the same time feeling content in a way, like you were kind of accepting of yourself when you were young, and you were like, that's just how I am, that's my style. And you were kind of a loner, trying to do your own thing. But the thing is, the existence is reversed. So I think what also was happening is you were feeling invisible sometimes, because you were watching all these people around you, and sometimes you felt like you were someone who doesn't matter that much, someone who is not the main character. So you were not the main character, you were someone who is like, have this like the second role, or someone who sometimes is invisible. So maybe your parents made you think that you're invisible, maybe your friends that you had outside of your family, but you were kind of, I don't want to say that it sounds bad, but you were feeling you're less of, so you're not as important as everyone else. And what I think happened is for you, it it impacted your self-esteem and your confidence and also your self-worth, because it's not the same thing. So you maybe now when you grow up, you didn't feel like you are worthy, or you didn't feel like, you don't feel like you are allowed to take up the space in the world, to take up more space, to claim your space, to be someone who matters a lot. Because it's like you make other people uncomfortable, or you may be a shy person or introverted, or you may look confident but you're really not inside, and your inner child is still that person who wasn't that important. So I think for you it's so clear here, as soon as you explain to your inner child that it is important and you can take up the space, and you work with your self-worth and your self-confidence, the situation will probably improve. Let's see what else we have. Wow, but so specific. um let's see. It's too much. Let's do it again. Let's take one card. Give us one card. If you won't give us one card, we won't use this deck. Sometimes this happens. Okay. It says it couldn't have happened any other way. So for you, it was so important that you actually were growing up that way, because it's important for you to go through this journey. And on the other side, it says growing beyond guilt. So a lot of you were feeling guilty, or some kind of guilt in your childhood. Maybe you're feeling guilty that you're not good enough, or you can't be like everyone else, or it could be different, like undertones of the guilt, but definitely guilt is important here. So, and it's also like an added layer to self-worth, and also feeling guilty, and also feeling like there are some people who saying sorry all the time. I don't know if you have a friend like that, or you are like that. I am like that. So I'm constantly saying, oh, sorry, I didn't want to bother you. Like, oh, I'm so sorry. Like I'm constantly sorry that I exist. It sounds so bad, so tragic, but like deep inside, that's your core fear, that you're so sorry that you took up some kind of inconvenience space. Wow, I'm starting to feel emotional, and I feel you. A lot of us feel that way, and I just wanted to say that you're not alone. And even if nobody knows that about you, you may seem confident, but it may be your problem. So you just need to look inside to see what the child inside you need, and how to talk to this child, and how to explain it, that the world is meant for you to exist, to take space, and it's all right. um so let's try Wow, it was so deep. Let's do some letters, and let's see what's coming up. It's just like an extra information for you. We have E, O, G. It could be a first letter of someone else who of someone else's name who played important role. So it could be D, G, O, and E. It could be also go and do. That's funny. Go and do. Yeah, so go and do, live your life, continue. There is no other way, but you just need to be a bit more precious with yourself and know that you have this opportunity to take up space. Uh, wow, thank you. Today is not a long reading, just for you to understand the core problem and your advice, where to look to try to fix it. It was amazing, and I hope I see you in the next reading. Hello, pile number 2. If you chose second stone, which is the name that I don't remember, amazing blue. I think it's galvanated, so it had a chemical process for to be that way. So, and this also important, I think, in this reading, but we'll get to it. So your first card is, today we're talking about your childhood trauma and how to fix it, or where to look and what is it. This card is actually trust. It's very beautiful card. We have two moths, two butterflies looking at each other. And this card, I didn't tell you that in the beginning, but it was actually turned back. So it was reversed. So it was like this. And I think the initial thought that um, that I had, because this stone, it was kind of like a changed into something else. So it was one thing, and then it kind of became something else. I think for you, you had problems with trust when you were younger. And I think your trauma may be a little more further into your childhood, maybe 10 and up. So after 10 years old, or after like 9, where you can already understand a bit more about life. And I think for you, it may be hard to imagine, but I think you tried to wearing a couple of masks when you were younger, or maybe you were trying to be different things, uh, but initially they were all covering your true self. Take it as it resonates. It could be so many different things for each one of you, but I feel like this, you were someone, like an extra layer was added up to your true self, that you felt like you needed, to have this extra layer to be someone else. Okay. And because why you have to do it, you ask. I think because that you didn't have any particular trustworthy um person, so you didn't feel like you can trust a lot of people in your life. Maybe a lot of people or family betrayed you, or did something wrong, or some figure did something wrong, to the point that you kind of lost hope in people a little bit. um and it feels like very grown up emotion for up to like 10 and after year old teenager. It felt like it made you grow up so quick. And um man, I feel like it's hard to breathe. Let's try, we'll also to do see the key element, which is this. We will also see the next card, which is going to be your emotions, what you felt, and your consequences. So what else was there, where it led to, and what can you do to fix it. So let's see what you were feeling. It's too many. So you were feeling a lot of things. So you were a child who probably was overwhelmed with emotions and was probably hiding them because you couldn't really be trusting and like make sure you can make sure that you can say your emotions. Okay, we have 2 cards. Let's see what it is. We have the dream and fighting. Yeah, exactly. So in both cases, just let's look at these 2 cards. In both cases, we obviously also have number 6. So for some of you, it could be either 16 years old or 6 years old. And we also have this armor in both of the pictures. So it's a knight in armor in both of the pictures. So I think that's your true self watching probably either something happening or yourself creating an armor in your next life. So, and for some of you, you maybe I feel like your untrusting can be about relationship between a man and a woman. It could be also multiple things. It could be like maybe your parents divorced and your parents like choose someone else or broke up, or you had some kind of relationships like intimate relationships that made you like bad influence on your mental health. We also have fighting. So yeah, exactly. So that's you. That's exactly what I was talking about. So that's you. You had to wear a mask, to wear a very protective hard cover, and you may even look like you're very strong person. You know, people may tell you you are very strong, you are a survivor, you strong person, you may been through a lot and things like this. But I feel like for you, you felt like you have to fight to be someone. You have to prove yourself to fight, and it made you add this fake layer to yourself. So your childhood trauma probably is connected to that. So in this life, the advice that I can give you is to try to, if you let go of the trauma that you had, this armor that you created will become less and less and less. And sooner or later, you will be reunited with your true self that you were before you were 10 years old and or like teenager. And as soon as you explain to your true child that there is no constant need to be in a war zone, or like expect the world to fight you back, and the world could be a nice place and there are good people in this world, then there is a possibility that you will be completely different person, and this strongness, but also this shell, this armor will disappear, and your softness will come up, and it will serve you very good. That's what I think. Let's give you a couple of letters. Maybe you will see some letter that's like a first letter of someone else's name from childhood, or something that you feel important. We have I, which is first letter. We have P. We have E, PE. For some of you, it could have been some legal issues that you saw when you childhood, because it's like PE, personal investigator. So it could be someone like a law. You saw something wrong with the law, or you had some problems with law, or your family. AI, two I's, and W. So it could be Will, William, Willie, Wayne. Take it as it resonates, and let's give you one last card, and that's going to be your reading. Wow, that's a lot of cards, but we don't have a choice. Let's take all of them. So we have, let's see, we have, let's move this here. Yes, like this. Sorry about that. We have asking for angelic support. So ask your angels, your spirit guides to help you with this, working through this trauma. Then we have, I'm willing to see beyond my beliefs, ideas, and conclusions. Yes, so basically you have a lot of beliefs from childhood that needs to be let go of. And exploring unity consciousness. I'm one eternal light appearing as all. Yeah, so that the whole world is united, but we just don't feel it. We feel like we're alone, and we have to fight against the world. So as soon as you feel you are the part of the union in of the whole world, then your feelings will definitely improve. And let's see, we had one more right here. Asking for angelic support. Let's see the other side. My angels respond when I'm open and authentic about how I feel. Exactly. Being more authentic, being more you, and your angels will help you with it. And let's see, grounding my energy. It's safe to be in my body. Okay, so for some of you, we continue on this topic. It wasn't safe physically in your childhood, so you were not safe in your body. So for those of you who went through this, I'm so sorry. I feel you, and I hope that you can let go of the childhood trauma and step into the new wonderful world, and you deserve all the best, and I hope you get it. Thank you for letting me read your cards today. It was a wonderful, very feeling. How do I say that? A lot of feelings went through this reading for me, and I hope I see you in the next one. Bye. Hello, pile number 3. If you chose this amazing stone, the black obsidian, this is your reading. And what I want to tell you straight away, because you chose the stone, so this is a protective stone. So I feel like you were either very protective in your childhood, very protected. So you either were taking care of someone else, like your sisters, your brothers, you were very protective, and were getting older because of this. So you had to be a parent when you were a child. You could have felt like you need to be a parent for your parents, a parent for your siblings, and that's how you grow up quickly. For others, you felt like you needed protection. So you felt very vulnerable when you were a young child, and you were dreaming of someone protecting you. That's just the initial thought from the stone that we got. And you also had patience, and patience was reversed actually when I just were picking the cards for the first initial picture. I just didn't show you, so you couldn't had a sneak peek. So the patience was reversed. So you were definitely either dealing from impatient figure in your life. For those of you who felt they needed protection, so you maybe had an impatient mom or a patient parent, patient dad who were kind of rough with you and maybe even abusive a little bit, and was very opinionated, and you felt like you couldn't get a proper boundary in your childhood or barely any boundaries at all. Um, and they were very impatient, or for some of you, for other half who will have to be a protectors themselves, you were being very like reactive child. Maybe you were like a bad boy or bad girl, running away from your home and being all rebelliant and like against the system, and just didn't have like a lot of patience. So that's gonna be like a two parts of this group, two groups inside the group, basically. So let's see what else we have. Maybe we'll get more information. So what we'll do, we'll also see like what your emotions you had to get deeper into it, and also what consequences you got after what happened, and what can you do to make it better in your grown-up life. So let's see, what did you feel? Okay. So what did you feel? It says participation. Number 4, so it could be like 4 years old, 14 years old, and number 4 is somehow important for you. So I feel like participation tells me that a lot of people were involved in your childhood. So it could be a brothers and sisters for those who have them, or family members, or you felt like you have to participate in multiple things, and like have a lot of functions that you didn't feel like you want to do. So you had to have some kind of a role, um, or some kind of like tasks that you were not that interested in. Let's maybe get one more card. I'm really interested in more details. This card was already turned, so let's take it. So it says totality, number 5. So number 5 could also be important, and you see how it's the same color. So I feel like red is also could be important color, or someone could be a redhead. And in this picture, what we see is totality. It's two people. It's basically like a circus move. They jumping from one platform to another, and like I think it's called an air gymnast or something like this, when they catch each other's hands, and one person is constantly being thrown from one side to another without any support. So maybe for some of you, you had to grow up because your parents were kind of like sending you somewhere, or you had to constantly change places or be from one parent to another, and constantly like things were depending on you, or you had some kind of a role, and you were constantly moving here and there, or just moving generally. That's interesting. So I think your main, let's see, let's get one more card to get advice. And also we had a turtle over here. So turtle could also be important. And I think because we had a turtle here and we had patience, you had to create a shell around yourself to be very grown up and very strong person. Let's get one more card, advice for you. It was reversed, but let's read it. There is nothing to do but wait. Uh, yeah, for you, that the situation that happened, it's already over. So the only thing you can do is to move on with your life. And at that point, you also didn't have any choice, and you just have to wait it out, wait it through, live it through, and soothing impatience. So that's very interesting, because what we have here, we had patience reversed, so being impatient, and here we have soothing impatience. That's completely wonderful. It's the clearest advice. You need to work with this impatient child that's inside you, or the child that was uh, trained to be patient, depending on which part of the group you were from the beginning. But soothing impatience is really important, and being less, maybe anger issues, maybe being less reactive. That's going to be your main trauma and main focus on, and advise what to focus on next. So let's see a couple of letters. Maybe if the letters will help you to pinpoint someone, like a first name or some word that you see. So I'm adding letters too. And let's do one more. So we have R, so it could be Reese, Richard. L, G, U, and S. So take it as it resonates. It's going to be U and all these letters. We also have number 1 and number 2, number 4 and number 5. That's going to be your letters and your numbers. So this thing with impatience is so nice. It's complete coincidence. And I hope you enjoyed your reading. It was such a pleasure to read for you with this vulnerable topic today. Thank you for letting me, and I hope I see you in the next reading. Bye.